expensive.
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons. And ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
On first and 10, Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second and 4. Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. 2 plays, 2 catches. You have a feeling they're going to look for him early and often, and that's to be expected. You got a player of his caliber, why not?
And I think it's also a message from them to the defense that you're not going to dictate to us what we're going to do with one of our better players, because so often you hear about defenses saying we're going to take away.
Amir Abdullah, the 30, the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Amir Abdullah, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Jones and the Giants now with a first and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's the former number 2 pick, the Pro Bowler Saquon Barkley. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Well, that's something we saw over and over again in Barkley's rookie season. He had 91 catches last year, most ever by a rookie running back, part of a fantastic rookie campaign that saw him go over 2,000 total yards. Second and 9 now from the 21.
Hey, orbit.
From the gun, Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Mike 55, Mike 55. 61, matchbox lights. No. Hey, Haywood. Look, squeeze.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Trying to lay one up deep. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Here's Sherrills. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
At their own 49-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
It's brought in by Dodson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
First down.
Jahan, what are you?
Now the rookie from Boise State, Alexander Madison. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Cousins. That is caught at the 7. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead.
14, Giants nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones. Dancing to his left. And this is Shepard on the catch. Oh, he's got a little daylight. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jones. Flush to his right, and that is incomplete here.
Jones on the keeper. Thrown away and incomplete. Sets up a 3rd down and 18.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Watch QB drop. Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Let's go.
Jones throwing on 3rd and long. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
They didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
To throw, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Saquon Barkley deep to return. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Returnable here from the 38. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Check 13. 6-6. Pull it high. Get it.
Throwing on first down. Jones. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Have to give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. They were prepared. Ordinarily, when they take the big shot downfield to the big guy, that's usually a mismatch that the offense is used to winning. But the preparation showed for the defense, and they were able to bat it away.
Looking for his receiver, sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. They brought the house that time on a young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
Hey, you got three, three down.
They'll start on the ground with Madison. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On second and 11 now. Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On third down, Cousins. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And he'll be out right at the 35. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they called the field general.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Brings up second and 12 at the 33-yard line.
Down. 10 Lobo. Topper.
Kill. He's coming.
Rock it.
On second and 12, Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to bring this one back back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
19 yards. And the Giants.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Jones. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question, because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 43-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. But he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Throwing Jones. And now another one thrown incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Final play of the half, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Daniil Hunter picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So this punt sails out of bounds across midfield. Now the question, they're going to spot it right at the 40, the 40-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it them to 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4. Let's get the 46-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Cousins now. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 yards, a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes, when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They run. Abdullah. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
You got him.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up second.
On second and goal. Cousins looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Now we've got third and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. Third and goal for Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or 2 shy of... midfield. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
From just shy of midfield, Jones steps away to his left. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and it's third down. Well, the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way has made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
That's good for 28 yards. A lot of people thinking that this could be a good year for Sterling Shepard to step out of the shadows of Odell Beckham Jr. But a season ago, pretty good for Sterling Shepard. 66 receptions, 872 yards, and now hoping for a 1,000-yard campaign in 2019. Letting one go deep. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Again, it's Abdullah. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, Abdullah. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
Here's Abdullah. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
58.
A second down run for Abdullah. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we play 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now Cousins. He completes it to Abdullah. And Abdullah lost the football. And who's got it?
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles, on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Bailey's kick is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on second down. Jones, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now Jones off the play fake. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game.
Now he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Amir Abdullah. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point try by Bailey. And the lead will grow by 1 more.
Makes the score Vikings 31, Giants nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really...
And now here is another interception. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up first and goal at the 5. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Again, it's Abdullah. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll run for it. This is Abdullah, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Amir Abdullah, his 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Bailey got the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. He'll get 15 and a Giants 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hey, Charlie.
2nd and 2. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Cody Latimer, his 1st touchdown on the year. And it's for pride now, but the Giants do get a bit closer. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. That's fielded in the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
1st down, Vikings.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Good sock, baby. That's baby sock.
They run with Abdullah. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Running from the gun, it's Abdullah. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them. But all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. 1st down. all runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And they take a knee.
Hey, Steamer!
Silver!
One touch!
Watch safety creeping! Safety's
One
creeping!
touch! One touch!
58, right over there.
And they will take a knee here.
Cousins on the keeper.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for Minnesota, it took a while, but they finally get that first win after 4 straight losses. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.